Okay. Hi, good morning, children. So, this is JD Botany once again. Yeah, good morning to everybody. Thank you. And let us start once again our Living World chapter. We were discussing the basic details of Living World chapter in the last class, right? Yes. So, in the last class, I told you about few details regarding with respect to taxonomy, systematics, nomenclature, and classification, isn't it? So, there I said about nomenclature. Nomenclature. So, what is nomenclature? I said nomenclature is nothing but it is a scientific method of giving names to the known organisms. That is what I said. And I also gave definitions with respect to classification, identification, taxonomy, systematics. All these we have discussed, right? Now I am discussing about the nomenclature once again. I am going back once again to the nomenclature. So, biologists present throughout the world have prepared a specific methodology to give names to the plants as well as animals, as well as other organisms, including microbes. So, this method of giving nomenclature or naming method is based on certain criteria and principles. Certain criteria as well as principles. These criteria are given in ICBN in case of plant nomenclature. ICBN in case of plant nomenclature, whereas ICZN in case of animal nomenclature. So, in plant nomenclature, the criteria as well as principles related to the nomenclature was given in ICBN. Whereas for animal nomenclature, we have the same thing in ICZN. What is ICBN? The ICBN is nothing but it is International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. What is it? International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. So that is ICBN. Whereas ICZN, it is International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. That is ICZN. Now, I also told you in the last class that what is the purpose of this nomenclatural system? I told you three important purposes. One is that this nomenclatural system ensures only one correct scientific name will be given to each organism. Only one correct scientific name. So, the purpose is giving only one name to each known organism. This is first purpose. And the second one, description of any organism. Enable people throughout the world to reach to the same organism. When you describe any organism, people from any part of the world should reach to the same organism. That is the second purpose. And third one, such names have not been given to any other organism. So one man simply giving the answer for my question as to avoid confusion. It is right. I think he is Mr. Krishna Kumari. It's a girl, I think, Krishna Kumari Mata. So she is saying very correctly, like to avoid confusion. So these are all confusing things. Like if you give more than one name, that gives confusion. If the people throughout the world is not able to identify the organism, then again there is a confusion. And if the same name is given to any other organism, that again creates a confusion. Therefore, to avoid confusion, we have this nomenclatural system. But before going into the nomenclatural system further more details, let us see how this nomenclature came into the existence. In the earlier days, in the sense, in the olden days, like before Linnaeus period, even at the time of Linnaeus, there was a system which was in practice that is called polynomial system. What is it? Polynomial system. Poly means many, giving many names to a single plant. That is polynomial system. For example, take Mangifera indica. It's a mango plant. Before giving this Mangifera indica to this mango plant, this plant had a name with 50 words. How many words? It's 50 words. You can imagine. Is it possible to remember all the 50 words for each and every plant? There were also some plants that were given a name with 100 words. Is it possible for normal people or a layman to remember that many names for each individual organism? It is very difficult. That's why this polynomial system was then replaced by binomial system of nomenclature. Which system? It is binomial system. Understood? That's very, very, very important. this binomial system, as we discussed in the last class, it was given by Carolus Linnaeus, who has given binomial system. Carolus Linnaeus. Understood? Of course, actually, before to this Carolus Linnaeus, also the binomial system was in practice. It was actually introduced by a scientist called Gaspard Bohin. Who is he? Gaspard Bohin. But as per our NCERT information, the binomial system was given by Carolus Linnaeus. So we have to strictly follow whatever NCERT says. I think from here onwards, you are able to understand in what way I am discussing a particular topic. Remember, you are preparing for a NEET exam where there is boundary for every topic to discuss and every topic to understand. You are not doing here research. So we don't want enormous information and unnecessary information which is not connected with NEET exam. We are focusing only those details that are compulsory essential, which compulsory appear in the NEET exam. Understood? That's why I am restricting myself only to this man, who is the Carolus Linnaeus. Do you know in which book this Carolus Linnaeus used binomial nomenclature consistently? Can anybody answer? Let me check how many of you can answer. If anybody gives answer, then I'll send 100 rupees phone pay to your mobile number. If not, after coming to live classes like offline classes, I'll give you directly in the classroom. Let me check how many of you can answer. Don't Google it, or don't check in your Gemini or some other. Who is this? Divyasri. Good. Divyasri. Very good. Very good. Yeah, she immediately responded and gave the answer, and you are going to get 100 rupees as soon as you come to the offline classes. Just meet me once you come to the offline classes. Okay? Good. It's great. First person who gave answer for my question is Divyasri, and give her a applause, everyone. So in your system, it's like in front of your system, just give applause because she was the first person to answer my question. So it is Systema Naturae. Systema Naturae. Is it Systema Naturae? No. It is not Systema Naturae. It is Species Plantarum. What is it? Species Plantarum. Species Plantarum is different and Systema Naturae is different. Understood? So many of them were giving Systema Naturae. That's why I wrote the same name on the board first. And again, I am writing the exact, because don't get confused between these two books. Linnaeus was author for these two important books. What are they? Systema Naturae as well as Species Plantarum. What is the significance of the Systema Naturae? Can anybody tell? Can anybody tell what is this? What is the significance of Systema Naturae? So Krishna Kumari also said after Divyasri, good Krishna Kumari. Krishna Kumari also won. Krishna Kumari was the second person who gave the answer for my question in a correct way. So, what is the importance of Systema Naturae? Let me check your answer. Yes, Mr. Karthik, and many of them are started giving. Systema Naturae was the book written by Linnaeus, in which for the first time he used the term systematics. The systematics word came into the existence based on his book Systema Naturae. Understood? Understood? So that is the importance of this. But that book is different and Species Plantarum is different. Species Plantarum is the one in which he used binomial system of nomenclature consistently for all the organisms that he classified in it. Of course, Species Plantarum is most important book. Of course, this book is not, I mean, about this book, in NCERT book, we don't find anywhere about the information regarding this book. Just for information sake, I'm just giving this name. It is not essential. Just remember about Systema Naturae. Systema Naturae was the book from which the systema or systematics name came into the existence. Next, when it comes to the Species Plantarum is the book in which Linnaeus used binomial nomenclature system consistently. So this is what we have to know. Now let us see what is this binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature, in the sense, it is a method where every organism is given with a name that comprises two components. How many components? Two components. Every organism is given with a name that comprises two components. Say, for example, take your name. You may have one official name and you will also have one unofficial name which is commonly used in your home, which you people generally call it as nickname, right? You may have some like Divyasri or some etc. But in your home, your mother and father will be calling you as a puppy or Tommy or Jimmy. These are all dogs' names. Okay, so like that, you will also have a common name. This is not a binomial system, and this is not a scientific method. You know why? Because we are not using any scientific knowledge or any scientific applications or any scientific strategy to provide your names like official or nicknames that you have. But whatever the names we are giving to the plants or animals or other organisms, these are all scientific names. Understood? And binomial system, as I said, here every organism will have a name with how many components? Two components. Two components. Let us take an example to understand more about these two components. Let us take an example of mango plant. What is the scientific name of mango plant? What is the scientific name of mango plant? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, some people started giving even the two components existing in the naming system. That's good. So what is the scientific name? I'm waiting for your response. Yes, good. That's great. So it is Mangifera indica. This is the scientific name. Mangifera indica. Here, I said there are two components in this name. This is first component and this is second component. This is first component and this is second component. The first component is also called genus and the second component is called species. Remember, genus is singular, genera is plural. What is singular word? Genus. What is plural word? Genera. And remember, you can call it as generic epithet. Epithet means word. You can also call it as specific epithet. Epithet in the sense word. This is the nomenclatural system. Next, I said this nomenclature system will have some criteria or principles that one must follow. Let me tell the important criteria that are rules that we are following while giving naming methodology. The first and foremost rule that one has to follow is scientific names are generally Latin, or generally in Latin. In which language? Latin. And they are written in italics. How are they written? Italics. Let me show how exactly they are written in italics. Can you see this word? Homo sapien, Mangifera indica. Can you see these two? Do you observe? Let us take this one. This one gives more clarity when compared to the take this one. Mangifera indica. Can you see any difference between this word and here capital letter, this word? Yes, there is a difference. What is the difference? So here we are using a font which is slightly slant when compared to this, right? This kind of font is called italics. So when you are writing the names of any organism, it has to be written italics and it should be given in Latin language, or it may be Latinized or derived from Latin irrespective of their origin. There is also reasons why we are using only Latin, why not other languages. There are so many reasons. So we discuss like all these details as soon as our offline classes begins. But remember, so every name comprises, so the names of organisms have to be given in Latin and they have to be written in italics. This is first and foremost thing you have to remember. And second thing, when you are writing with your hand, look at here, this is handwritten name, Mangifera indica. Can you see here? There is a underline. Here one underline is there and here another underline is there. Even you can also see here, look at here. I have given a separate underline for genus and separate underline for species. Understood? And what kind of underline I am giving? Is it a continuous underline or a single underline? No. You are not giving a single underline for the entire name. You are giving a separate straight underline for the genus and straight underline for the species. This is another important thing. Understood? And if you are publishing the same name, like if you are publishing the same name in a book, then it has to be published. How? In the form of italics. So it has to be published in italics. When it is published, it has to be published in italics. Whereas when you are writing, you have to give a separate underline for genus and separate underline for species. Why? Because to indicate that these are Latin in origin. That means they are not English words. If it is an English word, there is no need of giving again, or there is no need of highlighting this name by giving underline or keeping in different font. So as they are not from English, that they are from Latin language, so you are putting a underline when you are writing, or you are publishing it in the form of italics. And second important thing, the first name is called as genus and the second name is called as species. The first name is genus and second name is species. And one more important thing, genus is a noun. What is it? Genus is a noun, whereas species is adjective. Species is adjective. As genus is a noun, so it must start with which letter? Capital letter. It must start with capital letter. Whereas species is adjective, so we are starting the first letter with a small letter. So you should not write names, scientific names of organisms as you like. There is rules. Whenever you are writing the name, you must see that the first letter of the genus must be in capital and first letter of the species must be in small. Means lowercase, uppercase. Why? Because genus is a noun and species is an adjective. This is another important rule. Apart from this, after writing the scientific name of any organism, let us take Mangifera indica. The scientist who described this particular organism name has to be given at the end of scientific name in abbreviated form. For example, this Mangifera indica was described by Linnaeus. So, the name of Linnaeus is mentioned at the end of species in abbreviated form, that simply we are keeping as L. As L. This is the way we will be doing. Understood? This L indicates Linnaeus. If it is discovered by some other scientist, then his name or her name will be given in abbreviated form after writing the scientific name. And after writing the abbreviated name of the scientist, we have to give a full stop. And there must not be any punctuations between specific epithet and abbreviated letters of scientist. There should not be any kind of punctuations or anything. Understood? So just you have to give a space and then you will be writing the abbreviated letters of the scientists who describe this particular plant. These are the rules we have to follow while giving scientific names to any other organism. So scientific name has to be in which language? Can you tell? I am waiting for your response. What is the language we are using for scientific name? Yeah. What is the language? I am just asking about the language. Latin. Good, good. Not italics. Latin. Good, good, good. Good. And when you are writing with your hand, what kind of precaution you have to take for scientific names? You have to give underline. When you are publishing it in a book, in which font the scientific names have to be published? In which font? I'm asking now about font. Yeah, underlined, good. And font, yes, italics, that's good. Italics. So these are the things we have to know regarding this. Similarly, I think you all know. So actually this session, purpose of this session is not to make familiar with basic terminology related to the biology, and also make you familiar with different patterns of questions that appear in the NEET examination. So we have to discuss even what kind of questions will appear from the topic which we have discussed today. Let us take, for example, from this chapter, I'm just framing a assertion region. Are you aware about assertion regions? Assertion is represented with A and region is represented with R. Are you aware about assertion and region? Respond. Assertion and region type of questions. So there will be some lag between you and me, because yeah, 10 seconds lag will be there. So that's why I'm taking a gap. Yes, many of them are saying yes. Now let me give assertion region and let me see how many of you can give a correct answer for it. Yeah. So now I'm giving assertion. Scientific names of living organisms are given in Latin language and published in italics. Now the region. Region. Scientific names of living organisms are not English in origin. This is the assertion and region. Now answers for the same. First option, if both A and R are true and R explains A. This is the first option. Second option, both A and R are true and R cannot explains A. And third, A is true but R is false. Next, fourth, A is false but R is true. Like this, you will be given with 4 different options. Among them, you have to choose one correct answer. So assertion region type of question is one kind of question which appear usually in our NEET, and these are most important type of questions because many of the students lose their marks in assertion region type of questions. Remember, whenever you read assertion and region type of question, you should not get excited. First, read the assertion carefully, then region carefully, then correlate whether whatever the region that it is given in the second part of the question is explaining the assertion or not. That you have to find. Now, what is the assertion? I said here, scientific names of living organisms are given in Latin language and published in italics. So, they are given in Latin language and published in italics. This is the assertion. So, remember, as soon as you read the assertion, then keep a question tag why or how. What is it? What kind of question tag you have to keep as soon as the question assertion is read? Why or how? Got it? Is it clear? Is it clear for everyone? Say yes or no. Say yes or no. Yeah. Yes, yes. Yeah, you are giving answers. Leave about answers. First tell me the explanation that I gave for assertion region. Yes, that's clear. Good, 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 good. Yeah. So as soon as assertion is read, what you have to do? You have to give. You have to put a question tag why or how. Understood? And then you have to search the region whether this statement given in the assertion is explaining or not. So here there are two components here. One is scientific names of living organisms are given in Latin. You have to give the region why the Latin language is used for giving scientific names. That is one reason. And second thing, and published in italics. Published in italics. Again, you have to search why these names are published in italics. These are the two components here. But if you look into the region, I gave just one region, like say scientific names of living organisms are not English in origin. They are not English in origin. I already told why. Because they are Latin in origin, so they are not English in origin. That's why, to indicate that their origin is not in English, you are going to publish these scientific names in italics. So, I am giving a reason for the second part of the question. Even then, it is both A and R are true, or is correct explanation for A. So, what is answer now? Now, answer is first option. Got it? Got it? Got it? Yes or no? Say yes or no. I am waiting for your response. I told you that there is a lag between you and me, at least minimum 10 to 15 seconds. Yes, 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 yes. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. This kind of response I want in every class. Okay? Then it represents your involvement and your real enthusiasm in getting a medical seat. That's great. So, this is the way. So, in every class, minimum last 10 to 15 minutes, I am going to give you some objective type of questions. Today, I started with assertion and region, and tomorrow, I will go with some other questions. So, you must be ready to answer my questions. So, even if you give correct answers for some of the typical questions which I am going to give in the next coming classes, you will be given with a prize, just like as Miss Divyasri and Krishna Matti, I think I forgot the complete name, these two girls who got the 100 rupees. So similarly, the others will also get a small, whatever you say, like it may be a prize or whatever it may be. So this is what today's class. But be alert in the class, follow whatever the teacher is explaining. Understood? First understand the concept, then you focus on objective type of questions. So this is the way we have to follow. And so tomorrow again we are going to discuss, of course not this chapter, we'll go with another chapter like biological classification, and tomorrow we'll start again our session at 11:40. Thank you very much. Today I am closing the session. Thank you.